Hey guys, today I'm going to do another ranking. Sorry for the week-long gap between the videos. Just my iPad's getting repaired at the moment, so I can't really make videos. I can only make shorts. Anyways, today is, like I said, I'm going to rank every Spider-Man villain on this list from the worst to the best. Spider-Man's got one of the best villain rogues galleries ever. And when it comes to movies, he's got some of the best and some of the worst. So let's get started. By far coming in last place, we have the Rhino from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I hate this guy so much. First of all, he appears in short little clips of the movie. Like for a few scenes, he comes and he's just so obnoxious. Every scene he's in, he's always yelling spider. Literally every second he's on screen. He's also kind of played for jokes when Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man pulls his pants down. This guy was a setup villain. He was pretty much a setup for something that didn't happen. Plus, that final battle at the end of the film just didn't even go anywhere. It just stopped. In the middle of the fight. I don't know why. I wonder if they'll continue that if they make an Amazing Spider-Man 3. Who knows? We'll see. Next on the list, we have the Green Goblin, also from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. All the villains in this movie kind of suck, except for one. Plus, these bottom three heroes are pretty much the only bad villains on this list. The others are all decent to great to masterpiece of villains. So this one, he's kind of like the Green Goblin from the Raimi trilogy, but everything, there's no build up. Everything just happens in one movie, like the meeting up, the guilt, becoming Green Goblin, avenging the father. That happens all in one movie, which could work. That doesn't sound like a bad idea, but in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, I think we all know this movie has so many plot lines, so much setting up happening just in one movie that it's just hard to get your head straight. I know there's some people who like that, but I am not one of those people. I just don't like this film. This Green Goblin is not great at all. He's the worst, and he's also really ugly looking. And that's why he comes in second last. Next on the list, we have Venom from Spider-Man 3. This guy was pretty much unnecessary. Literally did not need to happen in this movie. If they got rid of him, I think the movie would have been a lot better and probably more well received by critics and fans. I don't know why they should have made Eddie Brock be Eddie in this movie, and then when they make a Spider-Man 4, they can turn him into a Venom, or in the Spider-Man 3 post-credit scene, he becomes Venom. That would be actually pretty cool. I would actually think that would be a pretty sick cool idea, but I just don't enjoy this film. Spider-Man 3, to be honest, is a much better improvement over Amazing Spider-Man 2 because it's less messy. But we're not talking about the movie, we're talking about the villain, and this villain just doesn't seem great. Like I said, I think this movie, Spider-Man 3, could have been an Eddie movie, and then Spider-Man 4 could be a Spider-Man versus Venom fight, which would be awesome. Alright, in 8th place, I think, yeah, it's 8th place. In 8th place, we have the Lizard from The Amazing Spider-Man. This, I think now we've gotten into this movie. This villain is a pretty decent tier villain. His idea of turning the whole city into lizards does not really make much sense, and I don't think it's cool. And I don't like that plan at all. Literally, no second of it do I like. But he's just not very compelling, and he's not that memorable. Just like in No Way Home, when he shows up back, he's very unforgettable. He's very forgettable. Doc Ock Green Goblin and Electro kind of steal the show. Him and Sandman are kind of pushed off to the corner. That's basically how I would describe this villain. He's just a very average villain. In seventh place, we have Sandman from Spider-Man 3. Like I said with the Lizard, he's a kind of a forgettable villain in No Way Home. Because I think these two shouldn't have been in the movie. Because, like, they really did not add anything to the film. But we're going to talk about him in Spider-Man 3. I think he's actually a pretty good villain in Spider-Man 3. He just doesn't have enough screen time, if you know what I mean. Like, most of the screen time with villains is the new Green Goblin. The new Green Goblin actually takes up most of the screen time. Sandman's a close second, and obviously Venom's in last, because he only becomes Venom in, like, the last 30 minutes of the movie. I just don't really care about this villain. I don't like how they tied him into Uncle Ben's death. I don't think that was, a good idea. I like how he kind of got a bit of a redemption at the end, where, he just wants to, all he wants to do is just get back to his sick daughter. It's just a sad concept. A lot of lines are, told. So, I think he's a good villain. I just wish he got more screen time in Spider-Man 3. In sixth place, we have the new Goblin from Spider-Man 3. And a major improvement from the one from the Amazing Spider-Man 2, because his path to villainy does not feel rushed, and I just love how I love the 2-movie build up in this trilogy. He's kind of like one of those trilogy villains. Like, in the Dark Knight trilogy, we have Scarecrow, and in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, we have what's it called? This new Goblin. So I just like how we spend time with the character before he becomes a villain, and then he gets a redemption arc at the end of Spider-Man 3 with his death, which I enjoy that very much. So I think he's definitely a better villain. He's better than the ones I listed before this. I think just the top 5 are better. And bringing us into the top 5, we have Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming. This villain has an amazing arc. He's not a villain that just wants to destroy the world. He just feels like he's been wronged by the system. I love that plot line. It's just he's just some normal guy, normal dad. He has a normal life, and he just wants to provide for his family. To me, that's a great villain arc. He just feels wrong. That's the main reason that he turned into villainy. Especially those first 5 minutes of Spider-Man Homecoming, where he gets kicked out from his construction company. I think that really set the stage for him become a great villain. Michael Keaton obviously kills it in this role. Second time for him being in a superhero movie. First he was Batman, now he's a Spider-Man villain. Wow, what a weird transition. But yeah, I just love this film. I love this character, and Spider-Man Homecoming is probably one of, if not my favorite Spider-Man movie, right up there with No Way Home. In fourth place, we have Mysterio from Spider-Man Far From Home. This is what I call a great villain. He's a very underrated villain. When I first saw this movie, I did not enjoy Mysterio as a villain. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. But now rewatching this movie, I think Mysterio is he's obviously a top 5 top 5 Spider-Man villain. First of all, Jake Gyllenhaal kills it in the role. He's very fun, and he could be anything Mysterio is. I really like the idea of him using illusion tech. I kind of wish he was a hero, because that would be so cool. He could literally use this illusion tech to trick the villains into seeing what they're thinking. I totally saw the twist coming. I just wish he was a villain, or at least an anti-hero. He also set up a lot of what happened in No Way Home. Obviously, the whole if Mysterio didn't reveal Spidey's identity, the whole movie wouldn't exist. So I just love this character. He's funny, he's charming, he's everything I want a Spider-Man villain to be. In third place, we have Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I think this guy got a giant redemption in No Way Home. In No Way Home, he looks completely different. He went full on glow up mode in this film. It's actually insane how much they changed the character. He looks a lot better than in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. In The Amazing Spider-Man 2, he just looked like some blue human blob, and the villain rise in that movie is kind of weird because it's like the nerdy guy who looks up to the hero that becomes the villain because the hero wronged them. Not a huge fan. Iron Man 3, Killian has that. So does The Incredibles. Those two movies. And also Batman Forever, I heard. With Riddler. But Electro, he's definitely got, like I said, him in No Way Home just absolutely made him a beast. He's absolutely the best, probably the best villain in No Way Home. Just up there with Green Goblin. Our runner-up, we have Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2 and also Spider-Man No Way Home. This is another very classic villain in Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery. Him in this movie, in Spider-Man 2, we actually get to see pre-Doc Ock Octavius, which is awesome. I love seeing that before he becomes the Maniac, and we don't go straight to him becoming Doc Ock. We actually spend time, him and his wife, and seeing how he robbed a bank and seeing how that was a bad idea and he shouldn't have done that, and the arms controlling him was a great idea. Especially that train sequence was probably one of the best Spider-Man fight scenes ever. Fred Molina absolutely kills it in this role. He's just a great guy, and when he connects with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man at the end, near the end of No Way Home, it's very nice. It's very cute. It's seeing them both talk to each other after 10 years, 20 years. It's pretty insane how great this villain is. But coming in first place, we have Green Goblin from the original Spider-Man film. This is a iconic performance of Green Goblin. I don't think anyone could have played the OG Green Goblin better than Willem Dafoe. He absolutely knocked the role out of the park. The way the duality between Norman Osborn and the Green Goblin is insanely great. His origin story, Green Goblin's origin story, actually is pretty great, to be honest. I really don't need to explain much, but in No Way Home, he goes straight up evil mode when he kills Aunt May, which I love. I love how maniacal Green Goblin can be. It's just so fun. But I really don't need to explain how great this villain is. He's fantastic from start to finish. And that's why he comes in at number 1. Thank you all for watching this video. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a like. And if you like my other content, subscribe and turn the bell notification if it's even on. And I will see you guys in the next video.